afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss Cobb, and I will be teaching a lesson in ELA, and this is Module 1 for ELA. This is with understanding and decoding unknown words. So let's begin, shall we? We have our word for the day, which is powerful. So in third grade and beyond, you will be seeing words that you may not understand or know the meaning of, but they will give the word, will give you clues, context clues, to help you understand the meaning of the word and how that word is used in the sentence. And when we use context clues, we're being word detectives. Sometimes the meaning of the word is in the sentence itself. Sometimes the meaning of the word could be the synonym, which means the same or similar meaning, or it could be the antonym, which is the opposite meaning. And sometimes words, when we use context clues, is also an example that could be given before or after the word to help you figure out the meaning. So I'm going to read the sentence, and I'm going to help you figure out the meaning of the word. A telescope is so powerful that you can see stars and planets. So we have our word, powerful. So if I look at this word, I can see that this is something that, okay, I'm seeing stars and planets. So that means it has to be something that a telescope is something that I have to use. It is, I can look at things from far away. So in third grade, we are going to learn about suffixes, which are words that are added to the end of a base word to give that word a new meaning. And in this case, we have the suffix ful, full, which actually means full of. So when I put that suffix with the base word power, I have powerful. So my new meaning of this word means full of power. So it means a telescope is full of power, so much so that you can see the stars and planets. The next quick activity that we're going to do is using using evidence from text. So as a good reader, you have to find evidence or things that are in the text to support your answer. So the first thing I'm going to do is read the passage, and then I'm going to look for text evidence. Two boys named Wilbur and Orville opened a bicycle shop in the year 1892. They liked bicycles but were more interested in airplanes. Wilbur began making plans for an airplane by watching how birds flew. The brothers began to build a glider. They drove to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, because the wind was perfect testing for their glider. And on December 17, 1903, Orville Wright became the first, and even though you cannot see it, but he became the first pilot in North America. Okay, so now I'm going to look at the first question, which says, where did they test the glider? So I'm looking for where Wilbur and Orville tested their glider. And give you some think time to see if you can find where the brothers tested their glider. And if you said Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, for the first question, you are correct. That it is our text evidence to let us know where they tested the glider. Where did they take the glider? Why did they take the glider there? Let's see. And I'm gonna have some think time to figure out why they take the glider there. If you said because the wind was perfect testing for their glider, you are correct. So the wind, it was perfect for them to test their glider, which is stated right here. Okay, last question. Who was the pilot? Give you some think time. If you said Orville Wright, you are correct. Let's keep going. Now we have nouns and verbs. If you were in yesterday's live, you would know that nouns describe a person, place, thing, or idea. Verbs, which we'll learn about a little later, but in detail, but verbs are action words. That means it's something that we can do. So I'm going to say each word, and I'm going to give you some think time for each word for you to figure out if it's a noun or a verb. So we'll start with jump, and I'll give you some think time. If you said verb, you are correct. Shirt. If you said noun, you are correct. Song. If you said noun, you are correct. Right. If you said verb, you are correct. Clown. If you said noun, you are correct. Climb. If you said verb, you are correct. Tom. If you said noun, you are correct. And it's a special kind of noun because it has a capital letter. So that means it is a proper noun. Eat. If you said verb, you are correct. Chair. If you said noun, you are correct. Tree. If you said noun, you are correct. House. If you said noun, you are correct. And skip. If you said verb, you are correct. Give yourself a pat on the back because you are working hard. So I'm just going to talk briefly about the writing process. This is something that is very important. It's a very important step. I feel like one of the most important steps with the writing process is brainstorming. Brainstorming means you are thinking of things to write about. It doesn't have to be in complete sentences. It can just be a few words to describe the things that you want to talk about. So in this case, we have our topic, what makes a good ice cream sundae? And we have our lovely picture of an ice cream sundae right at the bottom. So we're going to think of 4 things because we got 4 circles, and I'm going to give you 4 examples, but I would love for you to think of some on your own as well. So the first one I could say is that what makes a good ice cream sundae would be ice cream. I have to have ice cream in order to make the ice cream sundae. So the next thing I would like to say is ice cream, it needs whipped cream because I love whipped cream on my ice cream sundae. And then the third thing could be that I would like to have fruit in my ice cream sundae. And then the last thing could be that I would like to have sprinkles on my ice cream sundae. So those are 4 things that I think would make a good ice cream sundae, but I would challenge you to think of 1 or 2 things that would make a good ice cream sundae. All right, let's move on. And we are going to go back to discussing nouns. So we're going to go here, and I'm going to show you how we describe describe nouns. Okay. And we're going to talk about two different kinds of nouns, and it's not going to be common and proper, but they are just as special as those types of nouns. And as we remember that common nouns, they describe a person, place, or thing. So an example of a common noun of a person would be a boy, girl, man, woman. And an example of a thing that's a common noun could be tiger, a bear, or a dog. And even with a place could be store, beach, library. Those are examples of common nouns. Now, with proper nouns, they name a specific thing. So, for example, if I say that a common noun is girl, a proper noun for a girl could be Anne, because her name is Anne. Or for a boy, it could be Joe. And even with a place, Walmart, Target, Chick-fil-A are examples of proper nouns. Okay, so now, and I'm going to zoom in, I would like for you to see that now we're going to discuss concrete nouns. So those examples that I just gave were concrete nouns. Those are nouns that you can taste, touch, hear, see, and smell. And they give us some more examples of cup, cake, ball, chair, and key. Now, abstract nouns, they can be tricky. They are things that you can't hear, or you can't smell, or you can't taste, feel, or see, but you can experience them. For instance, you can experience jealousy, and you can experience sickness, and you can experience excitement and curiosity. And you can also experience anger and pleasure. Those are things that you can experience, and those are examples of abstract nouns. And we will talk more about abstract nouns in detail later on as time goes on. Now we're going to move on to our read aloud for today. And it is an awesome story. It is about a courageous person, and his name is Emmanuel. And Emmanuel had a dream. And he had a dream of doing something really great and really big, and we are going to learn about it today. But before we do that, I want to go to Google Earth because Emmanuel is from Ghana, which is a country in the continent of Africa. So we're going to go to Google Earth. We're going to do some traveling, and we're going to go to Accra, Ghana. So I have to wait for it to load. Okay, it's loaded. Just have to be patient. All righty, going to skip. So now we're going to search and we're going to go to Accra, Ghana, which is the capital of Ghana. Okay, Ghana is the capital, Accra is the capital of Ghana, which is on the Atlantic coast of West Africa. So Ghana is located in the western part of Africa. And this is where Emmanuel lived for part of his life. And now we are going to read more about him. I'm going to maximize so that way you can see the full screen with the story of Emmanuel's journey. In Ghana, West Africa, a baby boy was born. 2 bright eyes blinked in the light. 2 healthy lungs let out a powerful cry. 2 tiny fists opened and closed, but only 1 strong leg kicked. This makes me think about Wilma Rudolph and with her disability and how she had to overcome a lot of things for her to accomplish her goals and to achieve her dreams. So I wonder if Emmanuel is going to go through the same thing. Most people thought he would be useless or worth a curse. His father left, never to return, but his mother had faith. Her name was Comfort, and she named her first child Emmanuel, meaning God is with us. As Emmanuel grew, Mama Comfort told him he could have anything, but he would have to get it for himself. He learned how to crawl and hop, to fetch water and climb coconut trees. He even shined shoes to earn money. So in spite of him having his disability of having only 1 leg, he was able to do a lot of things. Most kids with disability couldn't go to school. Still, Emmanuel's mother carried him there until one day she said, "You are too heavy." From then on, Emmanuel hopped to school and back 2 miles each way on 1 leg by himself. So I wonder what kind of character trait he has for him to be able to do that. And character traits are qualities and things that a person has in a story. So for instance, Wilma Rudolph, she was very brave and very bold and courageous for her to be able to become an Olympic runner, even though she had polio as a child and she could barely walk. So I'm thinking that Emmanuel is pretty brave to be able to walk 2 miles each way on 1 leg all by himself. Let's see what happens next. At first, nobody would play with him. So Emmanuel saved his money and bought something none of his classmates had, a brand new soccer ball. Of course, he would share it if he could play too. Lunging and spinning on crutches his grandmother had found for him and kicking the ball with his good left foot, Emmanuel earned their respect. His new friends sometimes used their lunch money to rent bikes. Would Emmanuel be able to join them? His friend Godwin pushed him fast so he could balance. Over and over again, Emmanuel fell hard, but finally he rode. So he was doing things that people with 2 legs could do. He learned how to play soccer and he learned how to ride a bike. When Emmanuel was 13, Mama Comfort got very sick. She could no longer sell vegetables at the market, and Emmanuel's sister and brother were too little to work. He would have to support them. Against his mother's wishes, Emmanuel snuck out and boarded on a midnight train to the bustling city of Accra. Remember, that's the capital of Ghana, 150 miles away, alone. He didn't know it then, but it would be 2 years before he saw his family again. And I wonder how he felt going to a whole new city alone. I wonder if he was scared, if he was afraid, and if he felt lonely because he had to go. Emmanuel arrived full of hope. There were so many people, but no one would hire him. Shopkeepers and restaurant owners told him to go out and beg like other disabled people did. Emmanuel refused. Finally, a food stand owner offered him a job and a place to live. So I'm going to stop right here for today. We will finish this tomorrow. But what I would like to show is the activity that you would do during module time throughout the week if you can't do it today. So let's go to Tuesday. And you have the Getting to Know You, Astra the player. And even though it's not going to load because of troubleshooting, I'll go back. This is where you will go. It is a passage. It will pull up and you can actually play the passage, and you just follow and read along as it goes. If you would like to write questions, wanting to know more about Astra, the team player, you can, because we will share them if you can make it on the live tomorrow. Well, that is it for today's reading lesson. I hope you enjoyed listening to Emmanuel's dream, and I can't wait to finish the rest of the story to see what happens. Thank you, and have a good evening. Goodbye.